almost look like Marcella. Oh my god. Well, adults can be so confusing. I promise it's not you. So you were eager to set up a meeting, but didn't want anyone noticing. Let's get to the bottom of this and find out what links these. Funny how some games really stand the test of time. I used to play this with Mom all the time. Sounds like this is from your school days, but the name of the sender is smudged. Aha! Keys are Snoop's best friend. I shouldn't put it back yet. I might. Funny how some games really stand the test of time. I used to play this with Mom all the time. So a husband can abuse his wife and just get away with it? And people like Linda still think divorce is wrong? Ugh. So Fernie and Wiseman are publishers. I'll need another key to unlock this. Haven't I seen one just like this somewhere? That key looks so familiar. Why do I associate it with room 505? That look in your eyes. What does it mean? And who is this from? Either a guest got a hold of our stationery, or this came from someone on the staff. Ah, that's so sweet. I didn't do much, but I'm glad it meant something to you. Those few coins in my tip jar were getting pretty lonely. They'll appreciate the company. Another day, another dirty dish to pick up. I'm sure I'll find more laundry to add to the pile. I don't think I'll need this again. There you are. With Marcella. God knows where she is.
Clarington Hotel reception desk, Andrew speaking.
Hey, Andrew.
Sophie, crazy timing. I've got something for you.
Oh, what is it?
I heard a certain Mr. Cruz and a Mr. Morgan had an argument yesterday evening.
Really? Who told you that?
Jacques did. Apparently, it got so heated he had to get involved. And it sounds like I was on the right track, because he heard a particular word thrown around quite a lot. Can you guess what it is?
Blackmail?
Well, that was your theory, remember? No, it's affair.
Affair? How bad was the fight?
I think Jacques got in the middle of it before it got too intense. But he said Mr. Cruz looked like he was about to kill Mr. Morgan. So Mrs. Cruz must be having an affair with him, right? And her husband found out?
Maybe, but that doesn't explain Mrs. Beaumont's involvement with Mrs. Cruz.
What do you mean?
I found a chest in room 507. I think it can only be opened by turning 2 keys at once. I found one of them in Mrs. Beaumont's things.
What about the second one?
Well, I remembered seeing a similar key in one of Mr. Morgan's stocking pictures, so I went back to check. Mrs. Cruz wears it as a pendant. It looks identical to Mrs. Beaumont's key.
Let me get this straight. Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz own identical keys that open a chest with 2 locks? Okay, there's definitely something going on between them.
I think Mrs. Cruz and Mrs. Beaumont might be the ones having the affair.
Really? Well, it is the 1950s after all. I guess anything's possible. Did you find any clues that might support this?
Nothing concrete. I mean, I did find a letter that suggests they may have gone to college together, but they could just as well be good friends, right?
Yeah, that's probably more likely.
I guess we'd know for sure if we could have a look at that chest, but I don't think I'll be able to open it. I've looked around room 509. I would have seen the second key if it was there. Mrs. Cruz must have left with it this morning.
Probably.
We were so close. I can't believe it all ends here.
Well, if you get me a candle and some plaster, I may be able to do something about that chest.
How?
I'll tell you later, okay? Just find those things, and I'll meet you in the basement as soon as I can.
All right. Thank you for not giving up.
I would never give up on you.
Great. This takes care of half of this little scavenger hunt. As for the candles, doesn't Rebecca keep some in her locker downstairs? I can probably find the rest of what I need in the basement. Candles, candles, candles. I think Rebecca keeps a stash of them, but where? Plaster and candles. Well, half the hotel's under renovation. I should be able to find plaster somewhere around here. Great! This takes care of half of this little scavenger hunt. As for the candles, I can probably find the rest of what I need in the basement. Candles, candles, candles. I think Rebecca keeps a stash of them, but where? Andrew? Gosh, I hardly recognized you. Guess this is from a different lifetime. Figures that if you were going to break any rules, it'd be the ones about which books you can or cannot read. What happened to you before you came to Montreal? Why don't you want to go back home? Fine. Keep your secret. People don't usually leave this unlocked. It's locked.
Are you here to apologize?
Apologize? I'm not the one who should be apologizing.
You're such an idiot. I can't believe that I fell in love with you.
Wait!
What?
I want my mother's ring back.
There. I don't want to see her.
I'm not sure how the children are affected by what goes on at a bar on a Friday night. But I'm no lieutenant, so... Ah, my new home, according to Suzanne and Yvette. Wouldn't be surprised if everyone's a little bit more on edge today. Bad weather has a way of doing that. This is horrible. I don't think I'll ever understand what pushes people to go so far as killing. This must be Andrew's current read. Or one of them, anyway. Syracuse. I guess Andrew went there on a holiday or something. Don't worry, Gossiper. I'm coming back to you. I still haven't learned all of Gracie. You gotta hold on to these tight. To be tossed aside by your best friend like that? Oh, Wendy, that's a special brand of heartbreak. I wish I understood you better, Yvette. You and Wendy had such a close friendship. Why throw it all away? Well, I think your haircut looks good, Reb. Well, I think your haircut looks good, Reb. What could I say? It was a very nice mixer. From best friends to this, they've really burnt that bridge to a crisp. Off limits. It's locked. Off limits. Open sesame? Nope, no luck. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Now, to resist the temptation to spend it on a burger at Harry's. It's locked. So you do have a stash of candles. But where is it? I'm good. Maybe Bobby took some candles from Rebecca already. Sophie, you're forgetting what you came here for. The candles. Better try to get them before Andrew gets here. Bobby has some of Rebecca's candles. Maybe he kept them in his locker. Off limits. Fine. Keep your... It's locked. No candles, but this looks like the laundry room. It would make sense for Rebecca to keep her candles by her workstation. Stash uncovered. Reb, you won't got a candle. Now, what next? Ooh, is this a movie script? Let's see if Andrew is around. Mr. VIP is really getting to Bobby. I hope you managed to calm him down, Reb. The last thing the Clarington needs today is a murdered guest.
There you are.
I'm not sure I understand what the plan is here.
Well, I remember reading a spy novel, I can't remember the title, it wasn't that good, in which they used wax and plaster to make a key mold. I'm thinking we could do the same.
Are you sure it's gonna work?
Sure? No. In the novel, they used a special kind of wax, not candle wax. But I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah, you're right.
So let's do this, shall we? First step, pour the wax, I suppose? Careful though, the pot's probably hot. That's it. Nicely done. Next step, put the key in the wax. Better wait a few seconds before removing it. Looks good. Pretty sure you can take... I think we're almost done. All that's left is to pour the plaster from the cup into the mold. Good job. So now we wait until it's dry, I guess.
How long do you think it's gonna take?
A few minutes, probably. We can poke it every now and then to check.
I bet you didn't think you'd be making a plaster key today, huh?
No. But I like it. I feel like I'm in one of those novels I spend my days reading.
Have you ever read banned books?
What do you mean?
You know, books banned by the church. I heard, Copernicus is a pretty interesting read.
Huh. Funny you should say that. It's on my list, actually. Although I can confirm it takes a more scientific mind than mine to enjoy it.
I suppose there's a reason why those books are illegal, right?
Well, the church did persecute Galileo for saying the Earth revolved around the sun, and not the other way around. So, even as a man of the cloth, I don't mind saying their judgment isn't always the best.
A man of the cloth? Wait, you're a priest?
Technically, no. I've gone through most of the classes, but I left the seminary before taking holy orders.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, I think you're the first person here that I've told.
I really can't imagine you in robes. Actually, I can't imagine you in anything but this uniform.
Yeah, I guess we've never seen each other outside of work, huh? Maybe we should grab a coffee one day? I could tell you all about the exciting things that happened at the seminary.
Yeah, I think I'd like that.
Awesome. The corner cafe is not too far from here. Why don't we meet after work one of these evenings?
That sounds great.
Oh, look. I think our key double is dry and ready to go.
I can't believe it worked. I could not have done this without you.
Well, I'm glad I was able to be of some help. I should get back upstairs, though. I've been gone far too long already. Let me know how it goes with the key. Oh, and you should probably be careful when you turn it. Otherwise, it could break inside the lock.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome, Sophie.
I've got 2 keys. Now, let's test them out. Be careful, Sophie. You don't want this key to break. Oh, shoot. Damn it. It's stuck. There's a lot of stuff in here. I don't think I've looked at everything yet. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. These two sure love their riddles. Huh. Marcella invited you to the movies. Let me guess. You said yes. Doris Day. That's an alliteration, isn't it? Doris. I-S. Damn it. It's stuck. Back to 507 to try this key double. I hope it works. careful, Sophie. You don't want this key to break. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. These two sure love their riddles. Huh. Marcella invited you to the movies. Let me guess. You said yes. Doris Day. That's an alliteration, isn't it? Doris. I-S. That riddle's a toughie. Maybe I need a fresh pair of eyes on it. I'm sure I'll find more laundry to add to the pile. I've got 2 keys. Now, let's test them out. Back to 507 to try this key double. I hope it works. These pearls, they look absolutely gorgeous on you. Though, I bet you could make anything look good. SW. Looks like you had a few appointments with him, Mr. Cruz. Or her. There's no shame in asking for help, Sophie. Two heads are better than one, especially when dealing with riddles.
Clarington Hotel reception desk. Andrew speaking.
Hey, Andrew. Got a minute?
I always have time for you.
I opened the chest in room 507.
Huh. It worked.
Yeah, I really wasn't sure, but our little key is sturdier than it looks.
Yeah. So, what's in the chest?
A riddle.
A riddle?
I think it was written by Mrs. Beaumont for Mrs. Cruz. And I think the answer will give me the combination for a case I found in room 509. I could use your help with it, though.
That's awesome. I love riddles. Tell me, which part's causing you trouble?
Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Do you know what this could mean?
This really isn't my area of expertise. Hey, Beth, you know bars, right?
Well, not all of them.
What about one that has a color in its name? Like the Orange Chair or the Blue Lagoon or something?
Well, there's the White Cat, but I don't think that's your crowd.
Oh, it's not for me, but thanks. Did you get that, Sophie?
Yeah, I did. But I'm not sure I understand what it means.
Well, if her favorite bar is indeed the White Cat, then it means we're looking for...
A black cat.
Exactly. So maybe you should look around to see if there's some reference to a black cat in Mrs. Beaumont's stuff.
Okay, I will.
Is there anything else?
Here's another one. Her alliterative name will surely take you back.
Intriguing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what alliterative means.
Oh, it's a series of words that start with the same sound or letters. Like perpetual peril. Does that help you?
I think I know what to do.
Of course you do. Anything else I can help you with?
No, that's all. Thank you.
My pleasure. I'm just glad I could finally put my riddle-solving skills to good use. Call me when you've opened that case.
You know I will. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. These two sure love their riddles. So Fernie and Wiseman are publishers. A cat named Greta. G.R. Doris Day. That's an alliteration, isn't it? Doris. I-S. So, GR from Greta. An IS from Doris. Agree? Could that be the code for the case on the bed in 509? It's worth a try. That novelist. Bridget Boswell. It's actually you, Marcella? Oh, Anne. Murder might be a bit much, but you deserve some kind of justice. So the symbols I've been deciphering, you invented them back in the day to keep your love secret. That feels really special. I do like a happy ending. I just hope that's where your story is headed. Oh, so you came to Montreal under the pretense of celebrating your wedding anniversary, but all along, you meant to reunite with Anne. After all this, turns out you're a fan of Bridget? Of Marcella? That's a lot sweeter than I expected. I'm glad you were able to open up to Marcella like this. Everyone needs someone to talk to. An advance on my salary. So Marcella hired you. But what for? Oh, Lindsay's a man. Yeah, I guess it was presumptuous of me to think otherwise.
So this was all a story about star-crossed lovers, with the lovers in question being Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz?
Seems like it, yeah. But I'm not sure whether they chose to meet here just to reconnect for a few days, or if there's something more to it.
Actually, I think I can help with that.
Really? How?
Well, some mail just arrived here for Mrs. Beaumont.
I wonder what's in it.
Me too.
Should we open it?
Well, that's illegal, isn't it? But sometimes the mail arrives a little damaged, you know? Oops.
So?
It's a tourism pamphlet for California and 3 train tickets. What do you think this means?
I'd say Anne and Marcella are probably planning to run away from their husbands. Those train tickets must be for them and Michael.
So you're on a first-name basis now, huh?
Well, after reading so much of their correspondence, I kind of feel like I know them, you know?
Yeah, like characters in a book. I have to say, though, I'm still a bit confused as to how Paul fits into all of this.
Turns out he's a big fan of Marcella.
He is? Why?
She writes pulp fiction under his pseudonym. I think her books gave Paul a chance to get out of his own head while he was staying in a psychiatric hospital.
I get it. Books have always been a way to escape for me, too. But why did he have pictures of you?
We'll probably never know. I think the trail ends here.
I guess investigations in real life always have some loose ends. I was kinda hoping we'd have this big third act reveal, to be honest.
At least it made our day pretty interesting.
That's for sure. It helped me understand you better, too.
Oh?
Why you snoop, I mean. Piecing together people's stories, learning what makes them tick. It makes you realize we may have more in common than it seems.
You're right. Which is why the next story I'd like to learn is yours, Andrew.
Oh? Am I gonna find you snooping through my apartment next?
No.
I would love to share my story with you, Sophie. You're the first person in a long time who's made me feel like I can. Would you come and see me when your shift ends? We could leave together, if you'd like.
Sure. If we're able to. With all that snow, I'm thinking maybe we'll have no choice but to spend the night here.
I guess that wouldn't be so bad. We could set up a pillow fort on the mezzanine.
A pillow fort? We do work in a hotel, you know. There are actual beds here.
Oh, I wouldn't be sleeping. I've got a reading list the size of the Eiffel Tower. This would be the perfect chance to put a dent in it.
That does sound like fun. I could bring my magazines and, ooh, maybe light some of Rebecca's candles.
Now I kinda hope we do get stuck here.
I just have to finish my tasks for the day, and then I can leave. Someone's been sleeping here. I should leave it as it is. Mr. Cruz? Mr. Cruz. Oh God. Oh God. What happened? Mr. Cruz's life insurance policy. Why did he have this on him? Marcella? Okay, let's not jump to conclusions. Is this about Paul? Does that mean... No answer. Andrew must be busy trying to restore the power in the... lobby. I have to get the power back on. It's too big. I guess I'll need something pointier. think there's anything here that would help me. Think, Sophie, think. What can you use to open the fuse box? Maybe an ice pick could pry open the fuse box. Think, Sophie, think. What can you use to open the fuse box? Maybe an ice pick could pry open the fuse box. Hello? Is anyone in? Hello? I need help. Hello? Okay. This looks like something I can use to open the fuse box. A, B, and Beaumont. Oh, so Paul's work with Marcella was to follow her around like a private investigator, to help her with research for her novel. Paul really got into his role. He followed Marcella to Montreal even though she was done with her research. It's too big. I guess I'll need something pointier. That worked, thank God. Now, to get the power back. Eugene, what I would give to have you with me right now. Your note will have to make do. How did this end up here? Not much use without the rest of the code. Unless those numbers I found in the laundry room, could they be part of the same combination? Not much use without the rest of the code. Unless those numbers I found in the laundry room, could they be part of the same combination? How does Eugene do this again? Fuses. I probably need new fuses. Getting the fuse box open was half the battle. Now I need to take a look inside and fix what needs fixing. I don't think there's anything here that would help me. How does Eugene do this again? Fuses. I probably need new fuses. bodies of a woman and 3 children. 3 children? Oh. Can't call Eugene for help, but he did leave some instructions inside the fuse box. That's the next best thing. Can wait. There are more pressing matters right now, Sophie. We were barely getting a signal before, but now, nothing. Getting the fuse box open was half the battle. Now I need to take a look inside and fix what needs fixing. This is what I need. How does Eugene do this again? Fuses. I probably need new fuses. How does Eugene do this again? Fuses. I probably need new fuses. Power's back. Now I should go down to the lobby. Call the police. These look like Marcella's pearls. What happened here? Hello? I need help. Hello? Is anyone in? Is there anything I've forgotten? Once I leave this floor, I probably won't be able to come back. I have to contact the police. I should be able to call from the front desk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. anybody down here? I can't leave just yet. I need to deal with this.
Montreal Police Service, Station 22.
There's a man dead. He's been murdered. I need the police.
Please stay calm, ma'am. Where are you right now?
The lobby, but the body, it's upstairs.
Can you give me the address, please?
Oh, 1178 Drummond Street.
All right, ma'am. Officers are on their way.
Thank you. Why does the VIP want to meet with Paul? Maybe he fell for his role-playing and wants to hire him as a private investigator. Is this the brochure Andrew was talking about? The West Coast. That's about as far from Montreal as you can get without crossing an ocean. So Anne and Marcella really are planning to run off together. Was what happened to Hector part of their plan?
Hey, you're here. I've tried restoring the power, but I think Eugene's the only one with the key to the fuse box, and Sophie? Don't worry, I'll find a way to bring the lights back on. Hey, you look a bit pale. Is everything okay?
I found Mr. Cruz. Hector.
He's back? How's he taking that whole thing with his wife?
You don't understand. I found his body. He's dead, Andrew.
Jesus. Maybe you need to sit down, huh? Did you call the police?
Yeah, they're on their way.
What happened? Was he sick or something?
No, I don't think so. Someone did this to him.
You mean... Jesus. Do you think it could be Paul?
What about Anne and Marcella? Their affair is a pretty good motive. I also found a letter from one of Hector's customers. He seemed really angry. I guess it could be him as well.
The police will want to ask you a lot of questions. You may want to be careful about what you tell them. With Paul's history of mental illness, there's a good chance they'll suspect him even if he didn't do it.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, they really do. You know how I said I studied to become a priest, but never took my orders? That's because I felt so lost. I couldn't enjoy the things I used to like. I could barely get myself out of bed. So I ended up going to a psychiatric hospital. And the doctors, they helped me get back on my feet. But when I returned to my hometown, it was like I had become a complete stranger. My mother kept telling me I was making it worse in my head, but I swear, people were changing sidewalks when they saw me, looking at me as if I was this dangerous creature all of a sudden. That's why I didn't tell you that...
What?
Call it coincidence or fate, but that psychiatric hospital, it's the same one Paul went to. I've met him there, talked to him a bit. I'm sorry I didn't say anything before.
It's okay. I get why you didn't.
You do?
You know how I tell everyone that my mom's sick, bedridden? Well, it's true, but I always leave out the part about her illness not being physical. I'm ashamed of the truth. So even though I don't know exactly what you went through, I can understand.
Thank you for telling me. I know it's not an easy thing to talk about, but if you ever want to talk about your mom, I'm here. They're here. Promise me you'll be careful with the information you share.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Miss Roy? Miss Roy? Miss Roy!
Oh, sorry. I was distracted.
I really need you to focus right now. I don't want to be here all night, and I'm sure you don't either.
No. No, I don't.
So, as I was saying, we're trying to ascertain the circumstances of Mr. Cruz's death. Can you tell me how you came to find the body?
I was cleaning room 509 when I heard the elevator bell ring. Again and again and again. I thought maybe a child was playing with the doors, so I went out in the corridor, and that's when I saw him. All the blood and...
Why was the elevator bell ringing?
I'm sorry?
You said you heard the elevator bell ring. Why was it ringing? I assume it wasn't a child after all.
Well, Mr. Cruz's body was preventing the doors from closing.
Really? When we found the body, it wasn't that close to the doors.
Oh, the stairs are blocked because of the renovations, so the elevator's the only way out of the 5th floor. I had no choice but to move the body. Just a little.
Ah, so that explains the traces we found. Thank you for clearing that up. So, what did you do after that?
Well, That's when the power cut. So I had to go to the janitor's closet.
To access the fuse box.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I changed a few fuses and turned the power back on.
But there's a lock on that box, isn't there? Did you have the key?
No, I didn't. Only Eugene does. But I thought an ice pick might do the trick, so I went to the ice machine to get one.
You're a size 7, I suppose.
Yes, I am. Why?
What did you see when you went to the ice machine?
There was blood. A lot of it.
Did you touch anything?
I might have touched a few things. Just to figure out what had happened to Mr. Cruz.
Of course you did. Why so many witnesses can't help but compromise the evidence is just beyond me. Anyway, what did you do after restoring the power?
I took the elevator down to the lobby. That's where I called the police.
Do you remember what you said to the operator? The exact words.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You said, there's a man dead. He's been murdered.
That's possible.
What makes you so sure it was murder?
Well, I know about Mr. Cruz's angry customer. The one who sent him death threats.
Oh, yes, we found those. But the customer in question lives back in Texas, so there's no way he could have killed Mr. Cruz.
Actually, I think he may be staying at the hotel.
Have you encountered him?
No. In room 504, there's a guest who seems to be traveling alone. Yet, he has these 3 teddy bears in his room. Mr. Cruz's customer lost his 3 children in a fire, and these bears are slightly burnt. So...
An interesting deduction. I'll look into that. But how do you even know about the death threats?
I've been snooping around the guests' rooms.
I didn't think you'd admit it.
You knew already?
We found pictures of you snooping around.
Oh.
Now, unless you want me to arrest you for violating your guest's privacy, I suggest you tell me everything you know.
All right.
We've learned from one of your colleagues that the victim had a fight with a guest named Mr. Spade. What can you tell me about him?
He spent some time in a psychiatric hospital after the war. That's when he got into Mrs. Cruz's novels, and they really helped him.
Yes, I already know about his time in a madhouse. We called the place and they painted quite the picture of him. Did you ever see him display odd behavior in or around the hotel?
No. I mean, we've all got our little quirks, don't we?
Did he seem obsessed with Mrs. Cruz?
A little, maybe, but...
Obsessed enough to kill her husband?
No, nothing like that. We all have our obsessions. Me, for instance. I'm obsessed with celebrities and gossip magazines, and...
You don't seem to understand, Miss Roy. Mr. Spade is not like you and me. He may look like us, but he's not. He's dangerous and needs to be taken off the streets. So tell me, did you ever see him be violent or aggressive?
You're wrong.
I beg your pardon?
He is like us. We all struggle sometimes, some of us more than others, but there's nothing wrong with that.
You may not have noticed, Miss Roy, but neither of us are in an insane asylum right now.
He was brave enough to seek help, That doesn't make him a criminal. That doesn't mean he killed Mr. Cruz.
You know, I'm starting to worry about your own mental state, Miss Roy, since you're so eager to defend
And I worry about your ability to do your job, Detective, since you seem to be such a—
Enough! One more word, just one more word, and you'll be spending the rest of your night in a cell. Now get the hell out of here. I've had enough of you.
Bernard was strangely chipper on the phone. That can't be a good sign. I guess I'll know soon enough. It'll probably be a while before the hotel reopens. Anne, Marcella, and Paul are all suspects for Hector's murder. Was there anything I could have done to protect them? The atmosphere is so different in here. Well, it's empty. I guess all bookings are canceled until further notice.
I'll go empty my locker.
Andrew,
Hey,
are you okay?
I've just been fired.
What? No,
It's okay. I just need some time to process it. I'll be on the mezzanine if you want to join me afterwards.
yeah. Yeah, okay.
Ah, Miss Roy. Come in. I suppose you know why you're here?
I would guess it has something to do with the murder.
Well, you'd be right about that. We've been getting a lot of press lately, and not the good kind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the position I'm in, but I assure you, it's quite uncomfortable to have one's life's work blown away like that. All thanks to some sexual deviance and a nut job. It's obvious to me now that I haven't been firm enough. For guests of such morals to be comfortable booking a few nights here and committing such a horrid act? Things need to change. This means elevating our standards to the highest possible level, and it starts with the people working here. It starts with you.
With me?
Yes. From what I've heard, you've been quite the exemplary maid lately. Clean rooms, satisfied guests.
I take my job very seriously, sir.
As you should. We'll see for the future, but for now, you'll be allowed to continue working here.
Thank you.
I'm not done. The police have finished their investigation and left a mess on the 5th floor. I want you to clean it up.
You want me to go back there?
Yes, why not?
I found a dead body on that floor. I'm not going back.
I'll make this simple for you. If you don't do it, you're fired.
Okay. I'll take care of it.
Good. Well, what are you waiting for? Get to work.
Oh, now?
Yes, now. That'll be all.
Hey.
Hey,
What a week.
you don't say. So what did Bernard want with you?
He wants me to clean the mess on the 5th floor.
He does? After everything you've been through up there? I can't believe it.
Yeah. I wish I would have stood up to him, but I really need this job.
It's okay. I know you do.
Did Bernard say why he was firing you?
Well, I told him about my time at the psychiatric hospital.
Really?
Yeah. He said that didn't fit with the hotel's standards and showed me the door.
So, what's next for you?
I think I'd like to be my own boss. No more Bernard looking over my shoulder. I've had this dream for a while of maybe opening a bookstore.
I can't say I'm surprised.
It just makes so much sense. I'd be able to combine the two things I love most, reading books and helping people. Granted, helping people find books is a far cry from helping them find God, but...
My mom likes to say, there's no job too small. Plus, just by the way you're talking about it, it's obvious it'd make you happy. And that's what really matters, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. I'm really glad I have you in my life.
Me too. I've been thinking about Paul a lot.
Oh, really? Should I be jealous?
No, not in that way. I've been thinking about what he went through. And you as well. How you've been ashamed of something you have no control over. How I've been ashamed of my own mother. I don't want to be ashamed of her anymore. And I don't want to be ashamed of you.
Well, then let's be shameless together. Look, it may be hard at first, but I have a feeling a wind of change is about to blow. One day, struggling with your own mind won't be any more shameful than having chickenpox.
I really hope that's true.
It will be.